this guy. At Jack, every bite's a big deal.
Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. It is baseball time in Texas.
Well, you better believe that roof is closed today here at Globe Life Field, where Rangers baseball is presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. It is a chilly one outside, but snuggle up. Enjoy a little baseball this afternoon. Rangers and Rays in the final game of this three-game series as the Rangers go for the sweep. All right, welcome everybody. Great to have you along with us this afternoon. I'm Dave Raymond with Mike Bassick, and yeah, the Rangers can sweep this series from Tampa Bay. They have held some sort of magical spell over the Rays in this building. We hope that continues today. The other thing we hope continues is this resurgent slug we've seen in this lineup.
Yeah, the Rangers hitting 3 home runs yesterday. They're relying on the home runs right now early in the season. 51.7% of the runs are via the home run, and that's top 10 in Major League Baseball right now. We know there's going to be a lot of hits from the Rangers and a lot of different ways to score, but right now it is coming with the long ball, and we'll take 3 more today if these Rangers would like to provide it. And that was a big one from Wyatt Langford, the go-ahead one in the 7th inning and the game winner. And Wyatt Langford is having a great start to this season. If you look at last year, first time ever in the major leagues, 237, no homers, 602 OPS. This year, 258, 3 home runs, 881 OPS. And I know we keep talking about the future, but it looks like the future is starting to become the present with this star in Wyatt Langford.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now there's plenty of bright future as well for Kumar Rocker, who makes the start today. What adjustments did he make after that lid lifter in Cincinnati? Laura Stickles has more on that when we come back.
Rangers baseball on RSN is presented by Progressive Insurance. Step up to the plate for savings. Visit progressive.com. And by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers.
Back to Globe Life Field, where we are just about set for first pitch here between the Texas Rangers and the Tampa Bay Rays in Game 3 of this 3-game set between these two teams, as we welcome you back to Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. Kumar Rocker is taking the mound for his 2nd start of the season, looking to rebound off of what was a challenging season debut against Cincinnati, in which he pitched 3 innings, allowing 6 earned runs off of 7 hits and 2 walks. His first 4 hits of the game were all off of his fastball, which for the most part he left middle. So I spoke with pitching coach Mike Maddox today just about what was the focus for Rocker in his bullpens this week. And he told me it was really on hitting those 4 quadrants with his fastball. Arm side up and in, arm side down and away, glove side up and in, glove side down and away. I also spoke with Rocker yesterday just about who's given him the best advice since that outing. He said it's always his parents who tell him what he needs to hear most. They've been coaching him since he was little, and the thing that they took away from that outing was just that he needs to pitch looser and try to have a bit more fun. So he said he's going to channel that today. And then the last thing I think is just worth revisiting now is just what Chris Young said to us right when both Jack Leiter and Kumar Roster were named to this opening day roster, which is these guys are going to face rough patches this season. They're young pitchers, and these spots are normal. Guys?
Yeah, that's part of learning process is you're going to get beat up even this year. As much as it looks like it won't happen, maybe Nate Eovaldi might even have a below average game this year, and it's all about, all right, how do I bounce back from it? So let's see how Rocker bounces back today. We'll look at those numbers against Cincinnati. The first start, 3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and 74 pitches. And here's the arsenal: slider, 4-seam, 2-seam, changeup, and curve. And Bruce Bochy did say he would like to see him throw more curveballs today and work in early counts better sliders.
See how he communicates as well today with Jonah Heim. I think that's going to be a key to this one as well. The Tampa Bay Rays, meanwhile, 4 wins, 4 losses. They are 2 back of the Yankees in the American League East, and today their lineup has Yandy Diaz leading it off as the DH. Brandon Lau at second, Junior Caminero at third base. It's Aranda, Morel, and Meisner in the middle. Mangum will be in right field, Walls at short, and Ben Rortvedt, the catcher, will bat ninth.
Well, the Rangers defense is going to look really similar to what we've seen this whole series. It's Wyatt Langford, Leody Taveras, Adolis Garcia in the outfield, Josh Smith, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Jake Berger in the infield, and behind the dish today is Jonah HEIM. He's had the responsibility of catching both young guys so far this year.
Yeah, yeah, and you remember from the interview with Boch earlier this afternoon, he talked a little bit about the fact that Kamara was shaking off Jonah as much as he did in Cincinnati. I got the sense that he'd like to see him trust Jonah a little bit more today. Jonah probably was calling for more of the breaking balls in that game in Cincy. So we'll see. We're ready to go. They've got a plan. And the first pitch on the way to Yandy Diaz, and it's a bouncer right to second base. The Gold Glove second baseman Semien throws out Diaz, one away.
Well, you love that start. One pitch, one out, attack with a fastball, and keep going.
Yeah, if you can do that all day, why, it gets pretty easy.
It's always interesting for Lau here. Is he in an automatic take here after one pitch, one out?
I don't think so, but I do think it puts pressure on the third hole hitter if he were to get out on that pitch. Now he was taking there.
Yeah. And it might just be facing a young pitcher, make him work a little bit after getting the first pitch, one out.
Rocker's fastball at 98 for a strike there. And now there's the slider. Foul back, 0-2.
Well, good job so far. Two fastballs located, breaking ball located. See if he goes to the slower one, the curveball, or tries to run a high 90s above the zone here.
Well, he's got options, certainly, ahead 0-2. And he'll go with the slider away. Lau's the guy, I think when you look at this lineup today, you think, well, he's the one you circle, and you say you got to be a little careful here. He's got the power, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. And he fouls off yet another slider.
Now, I could be wrong here, but my opinion on seeing Rocker pitch just September of last year and just in spring training is I do like his curveball for more of a swing and miss strikeout pitch than his slider. I like his slider for a strike pitch. I like the curveball more for the swing and miss.
And that's the slower breaking ball you'll see in the upper 70s. We'll see the 1-2, and he goes with a fastball up.
You know, he talked about shaking right there. Now, I don't know if the buttons say shake, but he did shake there.
Okay, so interesting. And Jonah, well, something wrong with the glove.
Okay.
As a pitcher, when something like this happens, I mean, obviously there's not much you can do, maybe play catch with an infielder or something, but is that unsettling at all?
I wish I could have broke strings from a catcher's glove. They're usually like, hey, I'm trying to break in this glove. Can you throw it a little bit harder? But yeah, there for Rocker. Maybe that feels good. You know, I'm breaking gloves right now.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Lau deep in the box. And a bouncer back up the middle again. And it's Seager all the way over from shortstop. And, you know, we call them the Keystone combination, and that was nearly Keystone Cops-like between those two as they were bumping into each other.
Well, the good news was they were both there to field the ball. Seager gets it, and then Semien gets out of the way just enough, and Seager makes sure he throws a catchable ball here to first. Probably not the easiest thing because he wasn't able to step to first base there.
Yeah, that's dicey. About 2 gone, and here's Caminero. We did not see him yesterday. And he'll take upstairs. And we mentioned the future, talking about a couple of Rangers in the open for the Rays. This is their future. And he taps it foul. 1-1.
Jonah wear something there, either the bat, was it the swing through? Let's see here. The ball doesn't get him, and the follow through, oh, gets that pointy finger right there.
Yeah.
Left number 1.
Nothing but trouble back there. The 1-1 and a little tapper foul again. Caminero is just 21 years old. He made his big league debut as a 19-year-old. Played 7 games in 2023. Last year up and down a handful of times. Appeared in 43 games. Eventually, the Rays feel like he's a 30-homer guy. Maybe more. 1-2. And he lifts this one high in the air out towards center field. And Taveras takes care of it. An 11-pitch first inning for Kumar Rocker. Nice adjustment in his first inning today. Now the Rangers coming to bat. Semien, Seager, Wyatt Langford when we return. Good job by Kumar Rocker in the top of the first. Holding the Rays scoreless as we bring it back in. Our Yingling flight cam. Well, Rangers lineup 7 wins, 2 losses. They're a game and a half up on the Angels in the West. Semien, Seager, Wyatt Langford, as we mentioned, going to break. Jock Peterson will DH. Garcia in right field. Jake Berger at first base bats 6th. And then the bottom of the order is Josh Smith, Jonah Heim, and Leody Taveras.
Well, the righty Drew Rasmussen on the mound for the Rays today. You see his first appearance against Pittsburgh. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and a K. And the arsenal is the 4-seam fastball, cutter, 2-seamer, and sweeper. He does throw the ball in the mid to upper 90s, so hard throwing righty.
Well, we carved that up a little bit as Semien stands in and swings and misses at the fastball. We carved that up to look like quite a wide repertoire, right? But that's 3 of those pitches are fastballs.
Yeah.
The 4-seam, the 2-seam, the cut fastball.
And the sweeper, he threw 5% last year. So far, 4%. He's added a curveball right now at 7% this year, which means he's throwing 5. So, but he's pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher if you just want to get it down to fastball cutter.
0-2 pitch, and that's outside. Well, there's some logic in keeping it simple, right? I mean, also you'll notice he's pitching from the stretch, right? Nobody on base. And a lot of what they've done with him is just trying to keep everything very simple. Same delivery every time, whether you have a man on base or the bases are empty. Limit the variety of pitches you throw. Probably pretty wise. 2-2. And that's downstairs. Full count on Semien. Rasmussen, 29 years old now. He's got 4 years of service time in the big leagues. 3-2. And that ball's hit well. No, it's not. He got under it. And coming in for it is Meisner. Not a good crack. 1-1.
Yeah, well, let's look at the defense for Tampa. And all the M's are in the outfield today as you have Morel, Misner, and Magnum. And in the infield, Caminero, Walls, Lau, Aranda, and behind the dish, Ben Rortvedt.
Seager, the batter. And he'll take a crisp fastball there for a strike. Waiting for Corey Seager to click back into place again. Off to a 167 start, and he takes up and in. And still looking for that first extra base hit of the year. 1-1 pitch. And that is high. Ball 2.
I'm going to give you a random thought here. How Kumar Rocker, Laura reported on, he's talking to his parents. I wonder how much Corey talks to his brother about hitting.
Yeah, it's good. Good question. 2-2 the count. Kyle Seager, who longtime Mariner, just terrorized the Rangers for years. Now retired. 2-2. And this one in the air to center field. Another play for Meisner, 2 away. And they've got a younger brother playing too, right?
Okay, I didn't know this.
I think there's a younger Seager working his way up right now.
Okay, good. Just thinking of
Yeah.
like when things are going certain ways, you know, there's people that know you well, and I didn't know Corey and Kyle how much maybe they talk on the phone or about hitting.
I'll say this about Corey. He seems like a guy who has pretty strong feelings on how he hits, right? This one popped up by Langford. Foul ground first base side. Fairly long run over there for Ronda. He makes the catch. So it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the first. Good start for both starting pitchers so far. Rangers baseball on RSN is brought to you by TXU Energy, official energy provider of the Texas Rangers. Well, scoreless first inning for both sides as Kumar Rocker goes back to work in this second inning. It'll be Aranda, Morel, and Meisner for Tampa Bay. Hey, we were talking about Corey last inning. They do have a brother, he and Kyle, Justin, but Justin's the middle brother, not the younger brother. Corey's the youngest, he's the baby. And Justin was also with the Mariners. I think he's retired. There's a bouncer right side. And right there for it, Semyon. He goes out Aranda.
I think Yogi Berra would say deja vu all over again to start this inning.
Yeah. Yeah. One pitch and a ground ball to second. Now, if we're looking for a little more deja vu, that means that Semyon should be careful here because Corey's coming right at him to field the next ground ball and try and throw around him. There's Morel. And he takes a heater on the plate for ball one. That looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, I thought that caught the box that we have there.
Foul back. That is a strike. 1-1 on Morel.
Looked like he saw that breaking ball pretty well. That was a healthy swing, just missed it. You be careful repeating that pitch.
And Kumar back to the plate and a fastball bounced foul. He actually looks pretty comfortable in general.
Yeah, he does. But right there, you could see his timing was off on that swing. It wasn't as, oh, I just missed it. So now just trust Jonah here. He's going to give you a good one and then just execute right here.
They want it away, and the 1-2, that is the slider, just missed a little low. You could almost see our plate umpire, Quinn Walcott, flinch a little there like he wanted to call it.
Yeah, this is a good miss here. Watch Jonah try to frame it up and steal one below the zone, but didn't get it.
2-2. And another fastball fouled off. Well, 11 pitches in the first inning for Rocker. So that was good. And a quick out here in the second. It's already then light years ahead of where he was in Cincinnati. The 2-2 pitch, and that one is lined over third. That's a base hit for Morel. He takes a big turn but holds, and wisely Langford got that back in a hurry, and so Morel has a one-out single.
Well, I believe this was a broken bat here. You see the location, not bad, bottom of the zone. But give Morel a lot of credit, and then give Wyatt Langford a ton of credit here. Watch how quick he cuts this ball off and gets it in and holds it to a single. Morel wanted a double there. He thinks he has one, and right here he's like, oh, Wyatt played that perfectly. I got to stop here. Double play still in order.
Yeah, Wyatt continues to play excellent defense in left field. And there's strike one to Meisner. Cameron Meisner, 364 hitter with a home run. You familiar with the name Randy Meisner?
No.
Kind of obscure, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's not like this most famous person. And
The Eagles, popular
okay, yeah.
band back in the day.
Yeah.
Randy Meisner grew up where I grew up,
Okay.
in the Panhandle of Nebraska. So, and he was an Eagle.
Okay. Did he take it easy?
He did. He'd like to take it easy.
All right.
2-1 to Cameron Meisner. He took it easy on that pitch because that was pretty close and decided against it. He got the call. 2-1. not going at first base. That's fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, I think encouraging too to see Morel over there at first, not running, right? One thing we noticed in some spring training outings for Rocker was that teams like to run on him, but when he's gone to this slide step from the stretch, he's been pretty good at keeping runners close. And there goes the runner. A roller up the middle. Seager will throw it on the run to get Meisner, and that's the second out of the inning. So Morel does advance and stays out of the double play.
Yeah, to your point, if he's not running there, this is a tailor-made double play here. If Corey gets to the base, he makes the easy play to first. That's how it sometimes works. You say something and then the total opposite happens.
Sometimes. I feel like that's how it always works. So 4 ground ball outs now for Rocker. Mangum, the hitter. And he comes up empty on strike 1. 474 start for this guy.
Good pitch right here. Runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Aggressive hitter and throws an off-speed pitch. Good call, good pitch.
Mangum a switch hitter, and he takes in the dirt. 1-1. Now I know you planted a peach tree this spring. You're pretty excited about. How's that doing?
It's going great.
Yeah.
It's staying alive, growing a lot of leaves.
Good acidic soil.
I hope so.
I hope so as well.
I have no clue, but I hope so.
Yeah. 1-1, and that's chopped near third, over third. Good backup by Seager to keep the run from scoring. There was no chance of getting Mangum, so they are on the corners.
Yeah, this is just unlucky here, where that ball just smoked into the ground and gets over Josh Smith's head, but Corey Seager does a nice job of just backing up here. If he doesn't, it's a run scored. So now you have first and third, and make a big pitch and get out of this with the 0 on the board.
Another infield hit for these Tampa Bay Rays. We were talking about that last night. Now 11 this season. That's inside for ball on wall. So the reason I asked you about that soil for your peach tree, when I see Mangum's name, for some reason I'm thinking of peat moss, which you can use to help amend your soil.
All right.
What is the word? Is it not mangum peat moss? Is it like start with an S, like
I don't know.
Spangum peat moss or something? The runner going, and that one is in the dirt. No throw offered, and that is a stolen base for Mangum, his 4th, and so now he's in a tie for first in the American League with those 4 stolen bases. There's some green thumbs out there right now, just pounding the couch cushions. Moron. Walls takes a fastball for a strike, 2-2. Spangum?
I don't know, but I know this is early in the game. This is a situation here that Rocker needs to make a couple pitches here and get out of it.
I didn't know any better. I think you're trying to change the subject. 2-2. The count on Walls. I mean, I'm old, man, but I can tell. I got it. Morel at third. A big pile of peat moss out there at second. 8th place hitter. Walls, not usually a big threat with the bat, lifts this into center field. It's not going to carry for him. Taveras will track it down, and it's I'll go water our gardens. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Another scoreless frame for Rocker. 0-0.
No score as we head on to the bottom of the 2nd inning. And hey, Ranger fans, Angels are coming to town April 15th through the 17th at Globe Life Field. Scan the QR code or visit Rangers.com for tickets.
Well, Rockers posted a couple of goose eggs, and now here's Jock Peterson for the Rangers. 2nd inning. Peterson, Garcia, and Berger do. And Rasmussen runs that fastball a little bit up. Ball 1. Jock at 120. It's stunning when you see Semien, Seager, and Jock Peterson all well below 200 batting averages. And the three of them have combined for 1 home run, and yet the Rangers come into today's game with the best record in the American League, a 7-2 mark.
That has to scare a lot of teams
Yeah.
because they know these guys are going to get going.
1-2 on Peterson.
It's back to the yellow.
I was just going to make that observation, which gives me a real good feel.
Okay.
Yeah, I think today could be kind of a
I think you'd
breakthrough afternoon.
call it a very acidic color.
You could. 1-2. And a swing and a miss. First strikeout for Rasmussen today.
Well, you see the cutter here, and this is really a breaking ball cutter. That has a lot of movement to it, 90 miles an hour. Very tough pitch. Peterson was upset there. He did not like the 1-0 call. He kind of, as he walked away from home plate, probably not happy with himself, but I don't think he was very happy with the 1-0 call either.
So now Garcia. And he'll take that fastball right at the bottom of the zone. Adolis, couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. 4th in the American League with 3 doubles early on here this year. And he just missed that one. 0-2. Been a bit of a bounce back so far this year for Adolis. It's a lot better to start this season than he did last year at the plate and in the field. Inside 1-2.
I'm honestly surprised where it says 185 batting average. Obviously, that's the real number, but it doesn't feel like that for Adolis so far this year. See this year with the strikeout rate, 4th lowest in the American League.
Trying to check it up, and he did.
This is a good, we'll keep saying cutter. We'll look at it's right on the line there. That can go either way to me. That's a 50-50 call. But I know it registers as a cutter. This is a breaking ball, but we'll call it a cutter.
I'm with you. 2-2 on the way. And he's downstairs, full count now. So this is kind of that stat that we ran just a moment ago about the strikeout rate down so far. He's walking a little bit more, so much more disciplined. 3-2, and he hits this ball sharply to short, sliding, stopped by Walls, and it's sort of first in time. They get Garcia. Walls is a slick fielder over there at shortstop, and that ball was walloped 110 miles per hour.
Yeah, this is a great play right here. Quick hands, gets up, throws the one hopper. You talked about earlier, Walls, hitting wise, he can struggle at the major leagues, but fielding wise, one of the best.
So that's a tough out if you're Garcia. The first pitch to Berger is off the plate, but it goes in line with what we've seen, right, which is hard hit outs for this team. When you look at these numbers, Rangers 27 hard hit outs. That's 95 and above off the bat. 4th most. Our TXU Energy power stats. This one in the air out to right field. And Pete Moss underneath it. Inning is over. A 1-2-3 second. We head to the 3rd. Still 0-0.
Well, let's take a look at our Defy Wire Cam, and if you're just joining us on this Sunday, first time of the year, thank you so much on Ranger Sports Network, presented by Progressive, and that Defy Wire Cam is a new toy that we have, which is really fun, the angles that we can give you during a broadcast, and there you see right down that 3rd baseline.
Rocker goes to work here in the 3rd inning against Rortvedt, Ben Rortvedt. Backup catcher. He was their mainline, their frontline catcher last year. And he pops this one up, left side of the infield. And Smith takes care of it. 1 away. So, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay. You've stumped me a few times so far with the Eagles and Pete Moss.
Yeah. This one's a little more of a wheelhouse for you.
Okay.
Now, you remember we were in Cincinnati and they sent Rocker back out for a third inning?
Yeah.
After a couple of bumpy innings to start, right?
Right.
And he got a 1-2-3. It was great. Well, now look, right? He's come out here. He's looked certainly different.
Yes.
How much do you think maybe that third inning helped the other day in Cincinnati?
I think it matters.
He gets a ground ball here. Diaz rolls out to short, 2 away.
Look, he's a young pitcher. He hasn't pitched a lot of professional baseball in his life, getting drafted first by the Mets, and they didn't sign him, and the Rangers take him 3rd overall, and obviously dealt with an arm issue with the Rangers. He had a great minor league short last year, but he's learning. He's learning a lot, and for him, 3 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second. You take him out after that, understandable, but giving him that 3rd inning and getting a clean inning there and then saying, that's good, that's enough, I think that at least when he was in the dugout, when he's going over his video, he's looking with Mike Maddox, there is some success in that game.
Yeah, I agree. Certainly, I mean, you can't argue with the results today, right?
Yeah.
They're definitely better, definitely improved. 1-1 now on Lau.
His fastball is moving so much better arm side and has a little bit of downward action. He's reaching out. He's finishing his pitches today. In Cincinnati, after he released it, to me, I felt like he almost decelerated a little bit and was trying to place the ball where he wanted. And it's very tough to throw the ball where you want, doing it that way. Because the run down and away, now we get the chase back foot slider. So look at this back foot slider here. Very aggressive swing. Might want to go back to that because that didn't look like he saw it too well.
Looking for his first strikeout of the day, but buries that. He did go back to it, though, as you asked.
Sometimes the game can be simple. You want to make it complicated, as in you want to be unpredictable. But when you get a swing like that, why go away from that pitch?
All right, 2-2 on the way. And a hard ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit for Lau. So 3rd hit of the game for the Rays.
Fastball here, and just a little bit too high. You're trying to go away on the plate, righty on lefty. You want that ball to be down and away. Right there, that ball's up enough that you can get the bat head to the ball.
Lau's on for Caminero, the young 3rd baseman. And the first pitch, a fastball from Rocker, misses wide. Initially, Caminero, discovered by the Cleveland Guardians, signed in 2019, July of 2019. And then that November, so just months after having signed as a free agent then, he was traded to Tampa Bay for another minor leaguer. And the Rays, I mean, they had some sense for who he was, felt like there was a lot of talent there, and it didn't take him long to get up to the big leagues at 19 years old. Fouls that away, 1-2.
Well, he looks like a special talent. He's a guy that they believe can be a perennial all-star. But you have to do it, right? There's a lot of people you believe are going to be good to great. But very, very young in the major leagues. We'll see how much maybe his winter ball, where he was a good player there, takes over at the major league level.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, you mentioned the winter ball. Maybe now is not the time to get into it. But he had a memorable home run in winter ball this year. Just recently finished his circle around the bases, the 2-2. I think he went. I don't think there's any question. Yeah, that's a strikeout. First of the day for Rocker. Ramon de Jesus didn't need a whole lot of help there. I'm surprised Walcott didn't pick up on that, to be honest. First strikeout of the day for Kumar Rocker. Sometimes you just blow it by guys, you overpower them. Sometimes you just have them a little confused, and Caminero locked up on that one.
Well, Josh Young Baseball Card Bobblehead Day presented by Globe Life Field. Tuesday, April 15th. Angels versus Rangers. First 15,000 fans. Tickets at Rangers.com.
Off we go here. Bottom of the third inning. Rangers and Rays. A scoreless battle. It's the bottom third of the order for the Rangers. Smith, HEIM, and Taveras. And Josh pulls that one foul. Not a huge surprise that Smith has proven to be extremely valuable once again in the first week and change of the regular season. He was so big last year for this team, winning a Silver Slugger, and he shoots that through the left side of base hit. Rangers have their first hit, first base runner so far today.
Oh, this is Silver Slugger hitting right here. Getting the fastball, tails back into the middle of the plate. Josh stays inside of that baseball and hits a hard grounder out in the left field. See Josh, he's been aggressive on the bases this year. Let's see if he wants to take off on one of these.
Tied for 9th in the league with 2 steals early on this season. Rangers have run well. HEIM the hitter. There's a toss over to first, so Rasmussen not messing around, wants to keep him close.
And he only has one left now to pick over there.
How do you think you would have responded to the limited pickoffs?
More slide steps.
And for Rasmussen, that's kind of a comfort zone for him. There goes Smith. And the pitch is in there for a strike. The throw to second, not close. And Josh Smith has his 3rd steal of the year.
I love the weapon the Rangers are using. Josh Smith with a good jump, so good there's really not even a tag to be made. Easily stealing second base, and the Rangers stay perfect on the year.
That has been fantastic to watch. Fouled away. 11 for 11 in stolen bases now this year. I fashioned myself a bit of an expert now in base running. And what I would add to that is that's perfect. 11 for 11. So you heard it here from a noted authority.
Yeah.
That one is low. 1 and 2.
Well, that's what we aim for, perfection.
That's it.
I wonder what the Rangers' percentage will be after 162 games.
I think it could be very high. This one ripped down into right field. That's a base hit. Will the stolen base net a run? No. Smith has to hold up at third base. But Jonah with another good swing.
Well, this ball's hit 106 miles an hour, so it's going to be tough to score on it. 96 down and in. Good hitting right here, and with nobody out, there's no way you can send them there. But the Rangers have put themselves in a great position to score first again.
That has been the pattern this year for this team. Get on the board first. And they have taken that and ridden it to a 7-2 start. First pitch to Taveras is low. Ball 1.
How about the bottom of the order right now? And the damage hasn't been done yet, but you've put yourself in a good position.
Taveras will take a strike. About halfway around on that one. The Rangers are 7-1 this year when scoring first. The only game in which they did not score first, well, they lost. 1 and 2.
Ball got on Leote pretty quick on the hands there.
Taveras off to a 167 start this year. A pitch from Rasmussen in the dirt. Good eye. 2 and 2.
See if he goes back to hard inside. Thing is, if Leote can put it in play on the ground, it'll score a run. You don't want to double play, but it will score a run.
Rasmussen delivers again. Oh, strike 3 call. That one just did sneak in there. Tavares strikes out for the first out of the inning.
Well, you knew where Rasmussen wanted to go after that swing. That was a late cut on 95 in, so he goes soft down to then set up hard in again. And you get the four-seamer here, and this is a well-located pitch right on the inside corner for a taken strike 3.
A chance for Semien to drive in some runs here. And he bounces it up the middle. That one is glove flip to second for the force out there. A run scores. What a flip by Walls. I wasn't even sure he had it yet, and it was already in the air towards second. Goodness. So Semien picks up an RBI on the fielder's choice.
Well, this is a beautiful fielder's choice right here. And just barely beating HEIM. Very close play at second base. In fact, yeah, that's reviewable.
Well, Rangers are challenging. Interesting. One run is already in.
First look, it was very close.
Yeah, let's see here. It looks like Jonah gets in there.
I think he's safe. It's very close. Yeah, well, you can tell by Rasmussen's look on live action there. He wasn't sure. He's happy that they gave him an out there. We'll see if they overturn it. What's your thoughts so far right now on it? Do you think it'll get overturned?
My gut says that'll be overturned. There was an angle there where it looked like Jonah's foot slid into the bag, and you know, it was kind of in the crumple zone of the car, if you will, like the leg's starting to crumple a little bit while they were still, I don't know, an inch or two away from the bag.
Yeah. This is going to be very close. I'll go with you. I think his foot stopped right as Wall's foot was touching the base.
Now it looks like we're going to get the call here.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is out. Texas loses their challenge.
Stands means that they could not definitively tell one way or the other. Which I will tell you begs the question, what's the point?
Well, the Rangers are still winning here, so it's good. We still got an RBI there.
So a run in, it's 1-0, and here's Seager. And off and running, Semien. He'll have to return on the foul ball.
I'll tell you what, with 2 outs, I'm just assuming, and it seems like most pitchers in major leagues do not really care about being quicker to the plate. They're going to try to make their best pitch. If he gives a high leg lift, Semien should have a stolen base easily.
One strike offering, and it's inside. 1-1.
He's a little bit quicker. Right now, Rags and Semien are talking at first base. He's probably giving them the time that he got the ball to home plate there to give him an idea if he can go or not here.
1-1. Yeah, that's wide. Even the attempt on that first pitch is enough, I think, in Rasmussen's mind to serve as some distraction. Wild with the next 2. I don't know, wild, but not as competitive with those misses. 2-1. Oh, that's fouled away. I think what you're looking for if you're Corey Seager or the Rangers is Wild in the zone, right? Like a miss in the zone.
That was it right there, right? That was 97, middle. Just Seager's timing was just a little off.
Yeah, ball in the air out to right field, and Mangum coming in. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. But the Rangers do get that first run of the game again. 9th time this year they've scored first. It's 1-0.
Let's check out the team mobile coverage cam, and Kamar Rocker is bouncing back great. A lot of soft contact from Tampa Bay. They can't figure out the young man as he's mixing in the slider, fastball, couple changeups, 5 ground ball outs, 1 strikeout. You see the soft pop up in the infield, and Rocker has it going today.
The young right-hander back to work in the 4th inning, and he gets a foul ball here from Aranda. 25 years old, made his big league debut last year. 3 starts in September. And he misses the corner that time. Rocker pitched to a .386 ERA in those 3 starts. And the fastball misses away.
I know he didn't hit his spot there, but so far today, Rocker's movement, late movement on his fastball, much better than in Cincinnati.
A little bit further off that time, 3-1. Worked around a couple of base runners in the 2nd. Left a man on in the 3rd inning. That is 3-1, and this is ripped into right field. Aranda is aboard for the Rays. First time they've had the lead man on so far today. We have a moment now to hear from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
It's more than a field. It's where friends are made and memories last forever. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
All right, so with Aranda aboard, here is Morel. HEIM communicates the pitch via that PitchCom device, and this one's fouled away. Wanted the fastball, got it. 0-1 the count. Morel at .286 to start the year. Acquired last year from the Chicago Cubs, and really just kind of unraveled in the 2nd half last year. Just couldn't figure it out. A .191 average after the trade to Tampa Bay. Hit just 3 home runs. And for a guy who is, I think, generally expected to provide a lot of power, but did not. And he takes a fastball for a strike. A little extra on the corner there for Rocker.
This is Jonah Heim's job, is to make those close pitches presented as strikes. He did a great job there of pulling that one in and getting the call.
Here it is. Slow tapper toward 3rd. Charging Smith. Throws in time, and they get Morel. That's a bang-bang play at first base. Smith had no time. Had to get it and get rid of it in a hurry.
This is a great play from Smith, charging in. And watch how quick he gets rid of this ball. He had to. It barely gets Morel. Tampa took a look at it. They didn't want to challenge here, and you can see here the glove work and getting rid of the ball and throwing a perfect strike to Berger, and Berger with the stretch just in time.
So Meisner now, and he'll take inside. Meisner grounded out in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. .364 average so far for the Rays center fielder. Oh, inside. That one gets away from Jonah. And Aranda will round 3rd base.
See here is Kumar trying to go away and just pulls that ball down and in. Jonah reaches over, just can't get it. Wild pitch most likely, I'm assuming.
Yeah, wild pitch.
Now the Rangers have to try to keep that run from scoring.
Up 1-0, and the pitch to Meisner. That's flared out over 2nd. That's a base hit, so the game is tied. Didn't have to do a ton with it, just get it out over the infield. And so Meisner brings home the Rays' first run of the day. It's 1-1.
You see the fastball right here, just right down the middle. Sends it back where it came from for the RBI single.
Rays answer. Meisner will take his lead at first. Here's Jake Magno. And a bouncer up the middle. That could be two. Seager has it. Steps on the back. Run over to first in time. Double play. And the inning is done. All right, well, the Rays get their first run of the day, but a little defense behind Rocker. Able to turn the 6 unassisted double play. Inning over. On RSN is brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers, and by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas. All right, well, early on here, a 1-1 ball game between these two clubs. Out of the 4th inning, and Langford will lead it off, and he'll take a cut fastball for strike one. Langford, Jock Peterson, and Adolis Garcia. Wyatt off to a really nice start. They're hitting the ball with power. And this one off the handle ends up foul. And broken his bat. I think he did, yep.
Well, we're going to get a new piece of wood here. We'll see on the replay. This two-seamer riding in hard on the hands, and I don't even think a torpedo bat would have helped there. I think they make the bat head that far down.
You don't think you put the sweet spot down to the thumbs? Well, 0-2 the count. And Langford, he popped out his first time up. And Rasmussen, I think, felt like he had strike 3 there. 1-2 the count.
I think Langford might have got a favorable call here, as that looks like it does catch the top part of the corner of the zone. But see if Langford can make him pay.
Looks like they'll shoot for the same area, but that one's a little bit up. 2-2. Boy, he just gives you a good at bat every time in. That home run last night, almost 111 miles per hour, the hardest in his career. 2-2. And he rolls it foul.
You know, this is the great thing right now of Langford being young, is Tampa decided to challenge him last night in a game-deciding moment. I don't know how many more game-deciding moments with first base open Langford's going to get.
2-2. And that's outside.
That's the thing about him too, is he has such a good eye for a still, you know, a young big league hitter. He doesn't have 1,000 plate appearances in the big leagues. That's not an easy pitch to lay off of. He makes it look easy.
He's worked the count back to full, and he draws the walk. And keep in mind, a critical pitch in that at bat, where the Rays felt like they had strike 3. Instead, it ends up a 7-pitch walk.
Hopefully take advantage of that. The umpire's not going to be perfect, and Peterson didn't like his 1-0 call against him in the his first at bat.
Yeah.
Works both ways. Does it even out? Who knows?
It's got to even out. It's just a matter of how large a sample you want to use before you finally get to that even point. So Jock with a strikeout in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. Rasmussen only has the 2 strikeouts so far today. Whoa, almost had Langford leaning. I mean, he did have him leaning.
Yeah, and he slipped coming back too. I think he was going right here. He got back in plenty of time, but the first step was definitely to second base.
Now a pitch to Peterson, and that's a little bit up.
I don't know if I've ever seen a guy pick over 3 times yet since the new rule.
I have.
Yeah.
I've never seen it work out well.
Okay.
Always been a balk. Wyatt's running. The pitch is high, so is the throw. And Langford in at second base with another stolen base, his 2nd of the year.
Well, he knew he was in great shape, that if he picked over, it was going to be a balk if he could get back. And Langford's speed, I don't even think he got a great jump, to be honest, but his speed picks up here, and he's able to slide to the back of the base, and the throw wasn't on the base.
Time called. Time work that one at a moment. And you can see he's coming out here to Rasmussen. He says, hey, you know what time it is? It's time for our Choctaw Casinos and Resorts game within the game, dude. And it's all about base running. The Rangers 8 stolen bases now in this series. And, you know, the Rays, they have 10 all year. Anyway, the Rangers, they're running wild. The Rays are going to run. But you get the sense this year that every team has it in mind maybe to be a little more aggressive out there.
And help me out here. He picked twice to first, so it resets after he steals the base.
Yes.
Right? You can pick now twice to second if you want it.
Yep. 2-0. And that's ball 3.
This is a perfect time for green light. A guy who's struggling to start the year, 3-0. Runner on second base. Peterson, veteran hitter. Pick out your favorite spot, favorite pitch. If he throws it, crush it.
He'll take the strike. 3-1. Could really go with that same philosophy right here, right?
Yeah, same thing. He has to do it 2 more times. That was a well-executed high fastball.
3-1. Took a healthy rip at it.
You can see they're trying to go in the fastball at the top of the zone. They don't want the fastball at the bottom of the zone. 3-0, he goes up top, and then the 3-1 pitch right here, he gets to the top of the zone. Peterson just missed it.
Langford at second base. Payoff to Peterson, and he takes strike 3 called. Pretty good pitch. 3 straight fastballs, and he got him looking.
Yeah, bottom of the zone here. Maybe Peterson looking for something soft. 3 fastballs in a row on 3-0. Gets the strikeout.
So now El Bombi. Grounded out in the second. First pitch to Garcia. No, we'll look back at second. So that is, or counts as a disengagement or a throw to second base, even though he did not toss the ball that direction. Garcia takes a strike.
I know I ask you questions that sometimes you might not have the answer. How many times have the Rangers stolen third base this year? I know it feels like all of them have been to second, but maybe I'm forgetting.
It's 2 or 3 times anyway.
Okay. It's a good time to try to do it.
Little in, 1-1. What makes it a good time right here?
Well, there's 1 out. I thought you might be in a breaking ball count situation there. That was a fastball in, but if he throws that cutter, you know, that ball gets to the catcher just a little bit slower. He is still a big leg lift guy.
Now Chopper gets out there to second base. The throw goes to first in time to get Garcia. So Langford hung up at third at the moment with 2 away.
Ended up on 1-1 going to the breaking ball. It doesn't mean just because he throws a breaking ball now you're going to steal the base, but the catcher just has to hang there a little bit longer. Right-handed breaking ball breaking away from third base.
But he throws so few breaking balls. That's a pretty gutsy guess to make, right?
Well, I was just trying to play the count there.
Sure. Jake Berger watches one up. Berger 0 for 1. Just like that, a ball and a strike.
So far, Berger yesterday crushes a fastball off of Bradley for the 3-run homer in the first, and you've seen a big situation here with first base open. Cutter to start the at-bat off.
One more pitch. And that's strike 2. What do you think of Rasmussen so far today?
I think he's solid. You know, I like his fastball. It's around 95 today, but it's getting on the hitters pretty well. Guys are not on time with that pitch. He throws enough. He calls it a cutter. It's a slider. He's taking, about 6 miles an hour off. It has a lot of break to it, and he's keeping the hitters honest with that off-speed pitch.
20th pitch of this inning, and it misses. There's that sweeper.
That one he doesn't seem to. I need to look, but he doesn't seem to have much command over that. His slower breaking ball.
I feel like he waste is not the right word, but he uses it like a waste count, just to show me. 2-2. Let's foul back.
Yeah, he's setting up, wanting to go with the 96 in. So he's doing a good job changing locations, changing speeds, even though he doesn't have what you'd consider a big pitch mix as a starting pitcher. He uses his 2 pitches very well.
Langford still at third. Pretty good lead. And Berger making Rasmussen work a little bit, and they've made him work in this inning. And it's kind of a good time. Second time through the order. He's several innings into the outing, and maybe you can put a little dent into his I don't know, his like fatigue meter. He's huffing and puffing a little out there. That's low. Misses with a sweeper again. Full count, and now this will be the 8th pitch of this at bat coming.
Well, he hasn't thrown a sweeper for a strike yet. He has 5 sweepers thrown, no strikes on it. But he wanted to get to that. He shook to it.
Good pitch right here. And Berger hits it hard on the ground. Walls has it at short. The spin and the throw is in time, and the inning is done. Rangers leave a man at third base. And we go to the 5th this afternoon, tied at 1.
Kumar was one of those kids that was very celebrated as a young kid because he was bigger than life. He was 6'5", and he was intimidating. He made the ball look small.
That was part of a conversation I had with Vanderbilt head coach Tim Corbin following the news that both Rocker and Jack Leiter made the opening day roster. And Corbin told me that it was his freshman year that he went from just being a thrower to being a pitcher. He told me that the first time he pitched over 4 innings in college, he told the pitching coach that he had never pitched that deep into a game in his life. And by the end of that season, he pitched that complete game no-hitter in the Super Regional with the season riding on his shoulders. Corbin said he always had that athleticism, but it was that year he knew that he had what it took to be a big leaguer. Guys.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because that was, and the game she's talking about too is that 19 strikeout performance against Duke. And it was a no-hitter and one of the most spectacular games that you could imagine seeing.
Yeah.
But that is interesting. I had no idea that he had been that limited going into that year.
Yeah, no idea. I remember that game because the next day, coming in to do Sports Talk Radio on home of the Rangers Radio, 105.3 The Fan, my buddy Corey Major is like, I want that guy. And I'm like, well, he's only a freshman. But yeah, I think that this is a guy maybe everybody wants.
Indeed, that ends up being true. The 2-1 pitch, bouncer towards short, that's through. And Taylor Walls is on. Start the 5th inning.
Yeah, and from there, Rocker became a guy that was must-watch television. A lot of the kids that I know that were, grade school kids, my boys and their teammates all wanted to know when Leiter and Rocker were pitching for Vanderbilt. A lot of teams, too, also have the black jerseys with the white pinstripes now. And I think that's solely based off of the Vanderbilt jersey.
And especially in particular that run that they had.
All of a sudden I felt like you saw a lot more kids in the Dallas-Fort Worth area wearing Vanderbilt baseball gear.
Yeah, that's a heck of a 1-2 punch that they had at Vandy with those two. Absolute superstar, transcendent type talents. And the Rangers, what a run that the Rangers have had to be able to get both of them.
What would have the percentages been after Rocker and Leiter make a major name for themselves that they would both be in the same organization?
Tiny.
Yeah. Well, that's impossible. They're both going to be kind of top 5 picks. How could one team get both?
Walls off and running. The pitch was in there and a caught stealing. Walls gunned down at second on a beautiful peg from Jonah HEIM.
And I think this is a perfect throw and tag. This is very close. Well, we're going to see how close it is on replay.
Tampa Bay is challenging the out call at second base.
So this will be a real test of logic, I guess. Can you tell definitively
the umpire
that he is or isn't safe? So I can't, right?
The umpire's in the way of the tag right there,
which is great, because that made this going to be a lot harder for anybody to tell.
Seager's legs in the way of that one.
Every angle that they've shown us so far, that might be the most damning angle right there.
Right, so there's the tag. You can't really see though where the foot is yet.
But they can sync up the various angles.
Well, let's not do that. Home field advantage.
Yeah. I mean, that's where they will have an advantage at the ROC, the Replay Operations Center in New York. But that was close. And again, the challenge may simply be whether or not they have a definitive look that he was not out. It's not that you have to have a definitive look that he was out. It's just that he was not out.
Okay. I know that Walls can feel when he touches the base and when the tag is made. It was interesting to me that Walls was walking off of the field after the play. He didn't sit there on the base and go, no way.
Oh, I don't know if that's admissible in this case. His interpretation in the immediate moment. We're not going to be able to use that as evidence, but I like where you're going.
Yeah. Now watch his reaction after they called him out. He walked off the field.
You're out. All right, Adrian, what do you know?
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Tampa will retain their challenge.
I would maintain that replay is flawed. Listen, that's what it is. I guess they had a definitive look. All that you just saw, they were like, obviously safe. Okay, fair enough. 1-1 to Rortvedt. And I would still say to all those who say, like, well, if you have the technology, you should just get it right. Okay, well, was that the technology or the interpretation of what the technology gave them? You still have, frankly, human error and interpretation in this. It's just not that great. 2-2. Oh, I should have picked a different play to air my replay grievances, because it sounds like I'm upset over that call. It's not the call so much. I guess I griped about an earlier call that the Rangers got, right? When I said it's just not that.
Well, the Rangers challenge and lost their challenge on the really close Jonah HEIM slide on the force play, the 4-6 fielder's choice.
Oh, yeah.
Rangers challenged, and it looked very close, tough to tell, and they decided not enough evidence to overturn. Because they didn't say, I don't know, there's certain ways they say it. Here's the one where the Rangers lose the challenge. They said not enough evidence to overturn there.
Right. 3-2, and that's in the air out into short left field. By Langford racing in to make the catch. One gone, lineup turns over here, and we'll hear from Baylor's Scott and White Health.
Get the back care you need and get back to life fast.
Well, that is kind of my thing.
Health care that keeps you in motion. It's not complicated.
Okay, so one away. Yandy Diaz, he's grounded out a couple of times today. Former batting champ in the American League 2 years ago. 330. Took a step back last year, though. And off to a slow start this year. Strike one. Now 33 years old. Long hold by Rocker. And the slider almost got the swing there. But apparently Diaz held up. You're seeing Rocker, though, it seems to me, slowing down a little bit here. And this is what Boch talks about a lot. Wants that tempo up a little bit. Feels like he's better when he's working more quickly. 1-2.
I'm with you now. The pitch clock kind of won't allow you to work as slow as maybe you'd want to, but right here, big situation. You want to make sure that you have your thoughts, but a lot of times here, Jonah HEIM, all-star catcher, gold glove catcher. Sometimes it's better to just take a deep breath, trust your catcher behind the dish, and then execute the pitch he calls.
1-2. Didn't miss by much.
It's a great breaking ball, but Diaz, a very professional hitter. I know last night I was talking about him not striking out, then he did strike out, but he's a very tough guy to strike out.
He's only punched out once this year. Whoa. That one gets away from Jonah. A wild pitch allows Walls to third base.
Yeah, this can happen. It's just Kamar just trying to do too much. He's trying to make the greatest pitch ever instead of just trusting his breaking ball and keep throwing it where you're throwing it. If you don't get the chase, you don't get the chase. Right there, I just think he probably just tried to overdo it. It happens to everybody.
Big payoff on the way. Infield drawn in. Little flare out to first. Berger back makes the catch. Well, that's a little break. Soft floater over there to first.
This is what we call getting in the kitchen. And that two-seam fastball runs in. You can see slivers of the bat go away here. Broken bat. And this ball's exit velocity is not fast. And even with the infield in, Berger's able to go back and get it. Great pitching.
Now, I had exit velocity on that officially at
That's slow. Oh. It registered as slow.
49 miles per hour. Almost. All right, get some new baseballs. So Rocker, one more out, will establish a new career high in innings pitched in an outing for him.
You're in the heart of the lineup. I wonder how aggressive they want to be here against Lau. Righty on deck, Caminero, good young player, but does not have the resume that Lau has.
First pitch to him. Man, that runs inside. Lau has grounded out and singled so far today against Rocker. And I would agree, most dangerous hitter they have in the lineup. Rocker's pitch inside. That one gets away briefly, but not far enough.
I think this was blocked by Walcott, the umpire. I don't think Jonah blocked this ball. That's a run. Oh, yeah. That's a run scored.
Yep. That is a break. So Walls has to stay at third. And now this is a big spot here. 2-0. And Lau wants to hammer, lifts it down the left field line. If that stays anywhere near, now Langford tucks it away for the last out of the inning. All right. Well, Kamar Rocker through 5 innings today has allowed just 1 run. 25-year-old rookie living up to his reputation.
All right, Family Fun Tuesday. Save 50% on select tickets for Tuesday games when you use the offer code COKE50. Parking is just $15. Player autographs for kids under 13 and under. Tickets at rangers.com/familyfun.
What do you think?
All the families having fun today, getting out of the cold.
No kidding.
Wet ground, a lot of mud out there.
When was the last time you had a winter coat on April 6th?
I think we're going to the igloo of Chicago today, so.
That's true. This one fouled off by Josh Smith. Bottom third of the order in this 5th inning, Smith, HEIM, and Taveras. And remember, that's how the Rangers got their run in the 3rd inning. Smith started it with a base hit, stole second, ultimately scored on a fielder's choice off the bat of Marcus Semien. And he fouls that one away. So Rocker through 5 innings, Mike, allowed the 1 run. And I'm not sure if there's anybody working in the bullpen right now or not, but what do you think? 5 innings, you pretty happy with that and want to move on? Or
I'm super happy with it. Now, he did a great job. You'd love to get a run here, right? You get the leadoff single and you put him in a winning situation. Now, what I'm thinking about, I'm going to keep talking about this here with Rocker, is you have Caminero coming up, who's a righty. I'm not sure, but it looks like Milner. Yeah, Milner has his jacket off. He looks like he's ready to go. You have Aranda, who's batting 2nd in the inning. So do you give Rocker 1 hitter, the righty, and then go to Milner after the 1 hitter? I don't know if that's the thinking right now. And how much does the score change your thinking?
Yeah. Well, I would imagine that a change in the score would have an effect on the thinking, but that might be where Bruce Bochy is right now. Like you say, get the 1 hitter. Smith is on, though. HEIM the batter, and HEIM's had some great swings here in the first couple weeks of the season. And he did not go on that one. 2-0. A 1-1 game, 5th inning. Both starters have been really good today. Very stingy. And it's fouled away. 2-1 on Jonah. Now, Jonah's bat speed in this first 10 games of the season has been up pretty significantly over last year. I suppose that's to be expected for most hitters. When you come into the season, you're rested, you just had the off season, you're fired up at spring training, but you're probably at your physical peak right now. But it is a good sign. It's they're gonna challenge that pickoff over at first. Okay.
Your favorite part of baseball.
Yeah, more of this. This is fun. Here comes Adrian Johnson to tell us what we basically know.
Tampa Bay is challenging the safe call at first base.
He didn't seem excited about it either, Dave.
Let's see.
It's close. That's why they're challenging.
Is it? That didn't look that close to me.
Okay.
He was in, but maybe his hand was over the bag.
Yeah, I don't know when he's touching the base there. His fingers are up, so obviously his fingers aren't touching the base. It's just a matter of if there's another part of his hand touching the base. Josh was leaning. I'm assuming he was stealing on the pitch. I can't tell from there.
I mean,
but the Rangers are 0 for 2 right now. Challenged, lost. Right. Tampa challenged and won. So
you flip a coin. It's again, these guys are really good. I think what we discovered is the guys out there are extraordinarily talented at calling these plays.
Yes, and if you're wondering why are Josh Smith's fingers up, if he doesn't, there's a good chance of breaking your finger. So that's what you're taught to do with your, if you're like, oh, if you would have just got his fingers down.
After review, call on the field stands, the runner is safe. Tampa Bay loses their challenge.
Well, good. That means nobody has any challenges left when we're back to playing baseball.
Okay. Here it is here. Palm must have been on the base there.
If he has the base running oven mitt, then it's not even a conversation.
Well, he's about to steal second here, I bet.
Love it. 2-1 to Jonah. And Smith not going. Leaving the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was interesting there. I thought the bat broke. Jonah took a look at it. It must not have.
Waits again. through 2, and that's ripped down to first. Good place by Aranda. He gets the out at first. Smith now in the rundown as the force out is gone, and they do get him. 3 to 6 to 4, the double play.
This ball's hit well, but unfortunately, with Aranda holding on the runner, it's hit right at him. And Josh Smith, not much you can do there.
No, good awareness on getting the run down. I hope they make a mistake. They did not. It's an out Tavares, and he's bunting. He puts it in the air, foul, back out of play. Nice play, you. Attaboy.
All right.
Yeah, should be proud.
Was that a Texas Ranger SMU Mustang fan there? Was that a SMU Mustang hat he had on?
I didn't notice for sure, but I'll take your word for it.
Yesterday was TCU day here.
Yeah, Sonny Dykes here. So base is empty for Leone. Yeah, there you go. One and 2. Not a lot doing offensively today against Rasmussen. He's pitched 4 years in the big leagues, and all 4 seasons his ERA is below 3. This guy has been successful, and he strikes out Tavares and completes a scoreless 5th inning. He's been good again today. Both starters have been really good. We go to the 6th inning, 1-1.
Let's check out our Yingling flight cam and today's starter, Kamar Rocker, second start of the year. And what a difference a start makes. A lot of soft contact, a lot of ground balls early in the game. Tampa got a run off of him, but he gets a double play and gets out of that inning in a really nice 5-inning, 1-run, no-walk start for Kamar Rocker.
Yeah, love it. And now Hobie Milner. Hobie pitched twice in that series against the Red Sox here opening weekend. Did not pitch in Cincinnati. And this now his first appearance in this series. They got a hold and a win in the Boston series. And the lefty slings it off the plate for a ball. Caminero, Aranda, and Morel. That's low. So the bullpen will have it from here for the Rangers. Caminero 0 for 2 today, and he fouls that one away. And they've got activity in the Rays pen as well. Garrett Clevenger, a left-hander, loosening out there for them. So this may be a bullpen game the rest of the way. Chopper to shortstop, and Caminero is the first out of the 6th. Gives us time now to hear from Hyundai.
A blind spot that's never out of sight. How it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
All right, so here's Aranda. And he's looked late on that sweeper.
He did not see that pitch well. Lefty on lefty from this angle. You don't see this too much. Not probably easy to pick up.
This time Milner sneaks it in for a strike on its own. 0-2. Milner, an area guy, excited to be pitching at home against family and friends. Haskell High School in Fort Worth. And a bouncer back up over the mound, and Seager is there again. Seager's been positioned pretty aggressively today, and he's made a lot of plays as a result.
Well, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Milner here. He thought about trying to make a play on this. Watch him pull his glove away right there. Last second, he pulls his glove away. He knows where his defense is positioned. He knows that Seager's playing up the middle, and if he accidentally pops this ball up or it hits the tip of his glove, he might nick the ball away from where Seager's at. Not easy to do. Your reaction is to try to make a play on the ball.
So 2 out. Morrell takes one outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Rays left fielder. Rangers scored first today, got a run on the bottom of the 3rd. The Rays answered right back in the top of the 4th with their run. Big swing and a miss by Morrell. 1-2. Rangers have already won the series by virtue of taking the first 2 games here and looking for their first sweep of the season today. That's high.
Most of Milner's pitches have been at the bottom of the zone or below the zone. That was the first time where he ran one up above the zone. See if he goes to like a soft changeup below the zone here.
2-2, and that is lifted high in the air, short center. Semien way out, but here comes Leote, and he makes the catch. The inning is done. All right, last of the 6th inning coming up, and the top of the order for the Rangers: Semien, Seager, and Wyatt Langford when we come back. How about our aerial coverage today, provided by Jack Daniels? That's great. We welcome you back inside Globe Life Field today. Bottom of the 6th inning here in a 1-1 ball game. And a new pitcher on for the Rays, Garrett Clevenger. The left-hander checks in.
Yeah, coming in to face the top of the order. 2 games so far this season, 2 innings pitched, no walks, 3 Ks, 250 batting average against.
He's got the top of the order here. And Semien takes outside. Ball 1. Marcus drove in the Rangers' only run so far. Oh, good slider in there for a strike. So Clevenger following Rasmussen. The 2 of them got to be pretty close a couple years ago when they rehabbed together following surgeries. That's outside. 2-1. It was after the 2023 season. They both live in Arizona. Clevenger in Goodyear, Arizona. Just down the road from where the Rangers train. And surprise, a 2-1. Little dribbler out in front of the plate goes foul. Good hustle there by Rortvedt to get out quickly, but that one never had a chance.
Seems like over time, with how many arm injuries that happen in the rehab, a lot of guys have moved their residence to those places where they can rehab or work at least year round.
2-2 on the way. That's a little high. The sweeper there. So it was Rasmussen's suggestion while they were working out that Clevenger add that sweeper. And then it really has become kind of the big offering for this guy. He gets a lot of swing and miss on it. 3-2. And there is a swing and miss on that sweeper. 1 away.
You see Seager's going to be fooled here. Maybe not the pitch executed. Wanted to get that ball maybe more in, but let's see the hesitation from Semien here, and then tries to just get a piece of the ball and live for another pitch, but couldn't get it.
One gone here is Seager, and he fouls that one back.
He does throw 96, but 2 very different lefty relievers, from Montgomery yesterday coming in at 100 miles an hour with just a hard slider, and then this is 96. Don't get me wrong. This is above average fastball, but kind of a funky delivery.
Yeah, he seems to be more of a deception guy. The sweeper didn't sweep that much and missed in.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like jerkiness as he's getting the ball out of the glove.
Well, I mean, it's really not very nice to say. Golly.
How would you say it?
Well, I mean, I don't know what his intent is. 1-1 off the plate. 2-1. He does have he does have a little bit of funk in that motion, though, right?
Yeah.
Right. A little herky-jerky.
Herky-jerky.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same. You just use that word.
I mean, really got a lot of jerkiness, this guy.
Oh.
Now that's kind of a jerk move. Runs that fastball in there. 3-1.
I don't want anybody from the Clevenger family getting upset with me. What did they just call my boy?
Here it comes. Oh, just caught the corner with that sweeper. He does like that pitch.
Yeah. This one just stays inside. Close miss.
So he had that pitch last year and he got 34% whiff rate on it. That's a good one. The 3-2. And he goes with it again. And I think if you're Seager right now and the Rangers, they've got the scouting report. They know. But you're probably looking sweeper.
Yeah, it's always tough. This is what makes relievers so tough is you're going to see them once, at best maybe twice a year. So when you do have a delivery and the stuff that he has, it's tough to time it up. Or if you got a second at bat against him, you might be better that second at bat.
3-2. That ball's hit well. Deep out to right. He went with a slider, and Seager jumped him. First home run of the year for Corey Seager, and it breaks the tie in the 6th inning.
Well, Dave, you called it. He saw it again, timed it up. This one's belt high down the middle. Corey Seager head down. Line drive pulled into right field. And a souvenir and another go-ahead home run as we're getting later in this ball game again.
You could see a little relief on Seager there in the dugout with his teammates. There's a lone strike to Langford. That's a sight for sore eyes, not just the home run to put the team back in front, but maybe to see Seager kind of clicking back into place again. Good fastball there, 0-2.
Here's another look at it from a great angle here. That ball just barely gets above the camera. Gets into, what was that, the first or second row there? And
pound that thing.
Souvenir and a drink.
Get her another one. 0-2. And Langford strikes out swinging. There's that slider again. 2 away.
Well, you know, you talked about it yesterday, Dave, is sometimes you don't want to get into a battle of the bullpens with the Tampa Bay Rays. But this game's far from over. Yesterday, the Rangers win the battle of the bullpens. And now you have that 1-run lead going into the 7th inning, or at least still hitting here, but
right.
The bullpen versus bullpen situation, and the Rangers have been outstanding so far with their relievers.
That's such a big swing by Corey Seager. And 1-0. And I think the rule of thumb is there's a strike. And
that's the second.
Doc would argue that.
Yeah, that's the second pitch of the game that Peterson has not liked the call on.
1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, that's tight on Peterson, ball 2. Anyway, I think the rule of thumb is when you're playing Tampa Bay is you don't want to be in a battle of bullpens with them ever.
But here we are.
Here we are. That's low. 3-1.
And I think this is also another interesting decision, as I was wondering if Pilar was going to pinch hit in this situation, but Bocha keeping Peterson here, lefty on left. He's got himself into a hitter's count.
3-1. Misses badly, and Peterson takes his base. We have seen him now a couple of times already this year put up a pretty good fight against the lefty and draw a walk.
It seems like he sees the ball well off of lefties, and what I mean is he kind of knows his strike zone, and he doesn't seem to chase bad pitches.
Well, with 2 out and now another runner on base, Clevenger up over 20 pitches, and Kevin Cash will go deeper into his Rays bullpen.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rangers Television LLC and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rangers Television LLC. The pitcher on the mound, Rodriguez, the righty.
He runs one in on Adolis Garcia. Steve Hunt, our statistician, just gave me one of the most amazing little tidbits that we've run across at this point of the season. 1-0. And that'll even the count on Garcia. So there's a man at first base right now, Jock Peterson, after that walk. And Kevin Cash went to his pen to bring in Rodriguez. This is the first, you're looking at the first inherited base runner this year by a Rays pitcher. How is it that we're this far into the season and that's the first time they've inherited a base runner?
Well, they've given up runs. We've seen in this series, the Rangers before today had scored 11. They're at 13 runs in the series, so you'd expect that they have had to bring a reliever in with runners on base. But history in 2025.
Pretty amazing. I mean, or you're just committed to not making a middle of the inning pitching change. Maybe that's what it is. 1-2. And he strikes out Garcia. They have stranded every inherited runner this year. Pretty good.
Well, the Rangers take the lead. Corey Seager, lefty on lefty, slider, crushes it into right field. Rangers take the 2-1 lead.
Two-1 Rangers thanks to Corey Seager's first home run of the year. Boy, great to see that. That was a rocket. Meanwhile, Jose Caballero will bat here for Meisner. So Kevin Cash goes to his bench. And Hobie Milner, who was really good, very efficient in the 6th inning, out for a little more work. Yeah, this one is popped up. That'd be playable. I'm giving it a look. And in and out of the glove. Boy, that's so tricky, man. That is great.
Yeah, these are tough. He gets to the netting here, the fence, and the ball comes back on him, and he reaches back and just can't hold on to it. Takes a breather, thinks about it, and resets. There it is again from another angle. Well, it's around Sunday nap time.
1-1. And it's right in there. Strike 2 on Caballero. See his numbers for the year. The Rays have struggled offensively, and Caballero strikes out to begin the 7th.
Milner looks really good in relief so far. 4 up, 4 down. First strikeout of the game for Milner. Slings that fastball 87 miles an hour. I want to say kind of gets underneath this one because it has that rising effect to it right there.
1 out, and now Mangum. On a base hit earlier today, grounded into a double play in the 4th inning, 1 for 2, and he fouls that one off. Sean Armstrong getting ready in the bullpen. Foul. 0-2.
Milner's just putting himself in some really good positions to succeed. I believe he's 4 out of 5 in first pitch strikes facing hitters, and after that strike, throwing another strike.
Off with that one. Well, and he's told us a little bit about it, but has a side armor. He can give you length. He can bounce back quickly day to day. Fires that in. 2-2. A little less stress on the arm. This one fouled over to the right side. Out of play. He's retired the first 4 he has faced in relief of Kumar Rocker. Rocker 5 innings, a run on 6 hits, no walks again, and a strikeout. I say again, Rangers starters have been just terrific in that regard.
Yeah.
He's not giving up free passes. 2-2. Shot down the line, foul.
When you go your second time through your rotation and you'd say, well, rank the starts, and you'd have DeGrom, who didn't even have a bad start yesterday, as he gave you the 5th best start out of your 5 guys. That's pretty awesome on how you're pitching right now from your starting rotation. And the bullpen is just picking up these innings and putting a lot of zeros on the board. There's the best start of Major League Baseball this season in Eovaldi in Cincinnati.
2-2. And that's strike 3 called. Back-to-back Ks for Milner.
Well, let's look at this sequence here as we go fastball in off the plate, move the shoulders. Now we go change up down and away, perfectly placed. Good battle right here. And then we go back to the heater inside, frozen, strike 3.
Wall's the hitter, and he takes strike 1.
Another first pitch strike from Milner, just pounding the strike zone, but the edges of the zone to start off the counts.
It's low. 2-1 Rangers lead in the 7th. Now, one thing for certain this Rangers staff has gotten used to is pitching in close games.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that anybody has thrown many, I don't know, what would you call it, like relaxed pitches? I mean, everything's a high stress inning.
Yeah, the only game was the 14-3 game in Cincinnati. That's been the only game that was kind of out of hand.
3-1 the count on Walls. I mentioned earlier, historically, Walls not a real dangerous hitter. He does have a hit today, 1 for 2. He's a glove man. He struggles with the bat, and he bounces it to third base, and that will end another 1-2-3 inning for Hobie Milner. He's given 2 perfect so far today in relief. Rangers still leading at 2-1. It's stretch time. Time for God Bless America. Let's check in with Chuck Morgan.
And welcome back, Taylor Smith-Bothan. Taylor will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
And now baseball.
All right, well, not a lot of breathing room here. 2-1, Rangers on top as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Our Ford leaderboard. Since the start of the 2023 season, when we look at home records in the American League, these two clubs are the toughest in their home yards. Rangers and Rays both 99 wins, 69 losses. Of course, Mariners, we know them to be very tough in their ballpark. Rangers headed there on this next road trip. Mangum has moved into center field now, opening up a spot for Caballero to take over in right. And the pitch from Rodriguez is outside for a ball to Berger. It's Berger, Smith, and HEIM in the 7th inning. And that's buried. 2-0.
Yesterday in a 2-0 fastball count, Jake Berger hit a 3-run homer. And then a fastball 2-0 count.
Lifts this one up. Near second base. It is Walls coming in from shortstop to make the catch. 1-0. So Rodriguez gets his first man. It's a 28-year-old right-hander out of Mexico, Yucatan, Mexico. His big league debut a couple years ago with the Cubs in 2021. Smith rips that one foul for a long strike. He's right now got the hot bat, it seems, for these Rangers. Scored the first run of the game back in the 3rd inning. Comes up empty here. 0-2. Rangers retook the lead on the home run by Seager last inning. Hit that off Clevenger. Actually giving way to this right-hander now. Stays 0-2 on Smith. Now the Rangers bullpen has been heavily worked. So when we start talking about how these last couple innings are going to play out, that becomes interesting. Upstairs, 1-2.
Yeah, I heard Boch today. Luke Jackson, I believe, is down. He will not pitch. So you have Mark Church warming up in the 8th inning. I don't know about Martin.
Ooh, strike 3 called. Smith goes down looking, and there are 2 gone. Here comes Jonah HEIM, and we take a look at our Chevy under the hood. Jonah now in his 6th big league season, acquired from the A's in 2021. Rangers turn him into a Gold Glove receiver, an all-star in that World Series season in 2023, and he has logged a lot of work back there. We talk about guys posting, just showing up and taking the assignment. He does it. This year, maybe going to get a little more help. Certainly would appear with Kyle Higashioka, his backup catcher. So hopefully, for Jonah's sake, maybe a little bit more of an even split, or somewhat close anyway. It's a demanding spot back there. Does have a hit today. The 0-2 pitch, that's inside. Rodriguez likes that breaking ball.
Yeah, he's so far faced 3 hitters and nobody's looked very comfortable in the box against him.
Won it up. And this one's left over the plate. Grounded to second base. Lau bobbled, and that cost him. HEIM beats it out. There should be an error on Lau.
Well, you see him try to make the backhand play here, and it doesn't stick in the glove. Comes back, picks it up, and Jonah with the speed down the line. beats it out.
Good job hustling by Jonah. Now Leody Taveras with a chance to do some damage here. Well, oftentimes when you leave that door open with an error, there's just something about it. A good hitting team will take advantage. Leody 0 for 2 today. Fouls that back. That was the pitch to hit right there.
Even though at 96, we've seen these relievers, and even the starter, Rasmussen, the ball getting on their ankles pretty quick on those fastballs today.
You saw the hard throwing lefty loosening out there. It's fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Taveras. They're getting Mason Montgomery ready in a hurry. And perhaps for Corey Seager, should that come around. HEIM is running. The throw down to second is not in time, and Jonah with a steal of second base. Look out now, these running Rangers are headed your way.
HEIM joining the stolen base party. If you're not going to pay attention to me, I'll take off. Great jump right there. And Jonah slides in and hangs on with that foot to the base.
Well, that's inside. Full count now on Taveras. So an error and a stolen base. And Jonah in scoring position now for Taveras. That was the 9th stolen base in HEIM's career. The 3-2. And that's lined out to center base hit. Here comes Jonah. The throw on the way from Mangum up the line. 3-1 Rangers. Oh, speed kills.
Speed scores runs. Don't give the Rangers a 4th out. Leody with a great job of hitting. That pitch is on the corner away. Line drive up the middle, 1 hop, and Jonah showing off the wheels on the stolen base, now scoring easily from second base. Having some fun.
All right, runner goes again. Throw down to the dirt. Throw to second, not in time. And it's another stolen base. 5th of the year for Taveras. He leads the American League.
Leody's running so fast, he's losing clothes while he's running. He goes taking off, and right about here, something falls off and slides in hard into the base.
That's 10 stolen bases in this series for the Rangers. That's low. So a chance for Semien to drive in a run. Again, the inning extended by the error. 2-0. That's fouled away.
That's the area that Marcus likes 2-0 pitches. That one just sunk just below his bat head there on the foul ball.
Well, see if he makes a mistake of coming into that same part of the plate. They're set it up away now.
Yeah, that one didn't have the break.
Yeah, he missed.
Yeah. I was just showing you, when you go that fastball in, sometimes you can get away with bad breaking balls.
Two. And fouled away.
I think Semien saw another breaking ball. He felt like he could probably have shot up the middle, but he fouls it off. He lives for another pitch.
Way in on him that time.
That was close to the top of the hand where he fouled that one off.
Meanwhile, remember Rodriguez came in to get the final out last inning. And he's about to throw his 25th pitch this inning. Oh, no, that came way in and got a piece of Marcus, I think. I don't know if it was Marcus for the bat.
Well, let's see here where this goes. Definitely got the bat. Now you say Tampa's out of challenges, right?
Yep.
If you were to just grab your wrist and walk to first, now the umpires have to make a decision.
2-2. And that one's hooked down the third baseline, just foul. Well, he's doing some battle here.
Like you said, the pitch count is up. Now 30 pitches is going to be pitched 31. He can maybe throw a great slider here, but we've seen now in this at bat, he's kind of hung some sliders where earlier in the inning, the slider had a lot sharper break.
And now Hunter Biggie has begun to throw. 2-2. And a swing and a miss. So Rodriguez ultimately gets that final out, but the Rangers take advantage of an error. Jonah Heim uses his speed to get to second base with his 9th career steal, then scores on the base hit by Taveras. Give that man some oxygen. Rangers up 3-1. Mike, if you don't mind, I'd like to take this one. You know, Junior Rangers presented by Golden Chick, available for all kids 14 and under. And it's for a one-time cost of $25. You get the 4 ticket vouchers, a backpack, short sleeve hoodie, and a tumbler water cup. Kids, buck mom and dad, make them do it. Tell them it's easy. You go to the internet, Rangers.com/Junior Rangers, and they'll get you signed up. Awesome deal. A lot of fun for the summer as Mark Church takes over here in the 8th inning with the Rangers up 3-1.
Mark Church in a big situation here, trying to get a hold. 2 games so far this season, inning and 2/3 pitched. And you know, for all those Junior Rangers, none of you will have more fun than Dave Raymond did, smiling around the bases racing Jared Sandler. I've never seen somebody smile so much running around the bases as they're losing.
I was having fun. It's a little bit high. 3-0.
Well, they get the call. Jonah, give Jonah credit there. They give him the call.
Pardon me.
Jonah laughing about that.
It's okay to smile on the diamond. It's outside, and that is 3-1.
To your point, though, that was a borderline strike at best. Mark Church has to make some quality pitches here in this 8th inning.
This should be a guy he can attack, Wortvet. And he fouls it away. Full count.
Helped him out there. That looked like that was above the zone, ball 4.
Wortvet has not found first base yet this year. He's 0 for 9. Let's see if Church can put him away here. Big payoff pitch. Love to get that leadoff man. Here it is. Nope. And Wortvet takes first base. His first walk of the year. And we have a moment now for Kia. Man aboard, and here is Yandy Diaz. Yandy's 0 for 3 today. That was a good fastball for a strike.
Good adjustment after missing high on ball 4. Change your eyesight. Change your target to a lower target.
A little bit high with the heater there. That is the go-to for Church. It's a big fastball. Only 24 years old. Just celebrated his birthday a couple of days ago. And that's off the plate. This is his first opening day roster. After a handful of good springs now. The cool part this year, he stayed healthy. 2-1. And that's in the air out to right field. Garcia is back near the wall, reaches up, and that one is over his head. Bangs against the fence, and then takes a horrible hop in favor of the Rays. Wortvet will have to stop at third on the Diaz double. Yeah, the way Garcia was going after that, I got the sense that he felt it was out.
Yeah, let's see here as this ball is slicing into the corner. Garcia makes an effort for it here, gets off his feet, leaps, can't make a play, and this ball takes a long bounce here. It's honestly just a little bit surprised Rortvedt wasn't able to score after this ball went that far off of the wall, but down by 2, nobody out. Better to be conservative.
So Diaz out for a pinch runner. DeLuca comes into second base. And here comes Mike Madison. Another look.
Let's see, he's reading it, thinking he might catch it. So he's halfway there, and he's running as hard as he can there, conservative, and makes a lot of sense from Tampa Bay in that situation. No reason to push it there and possibly have the Rangers throw the ball home and get an out. You got the tying run at second base with nobody out.
Again, Mike is somewhat of an authority on base running.
Yes.
What I'd say is he read that well, and it is a lot harder to run all the way from first to third. It is a long way.
I'm sure once you hit second yesterday, and you saw it this morning, and there's still a long way to go here.
He's not in his 50s, but so the tying runs in scoring position. This is a tough spot here. It's Lau, the hitter, and he just did lay off that high fastball. So Webb beginning to throw in the Rangers pin, and he may be needed here in a hurry. It's on the ground, first base. Berger will take it himself. They will concede the run. So Lau retired. Give him the RBI as Rortvedt scores from third. DeLuca now with that tying run in its back pocket at third base.
Yeah, if you're not going to get a hit, this is a great job of hitting. You hit the ball to the right side, you get the run in, and you get the runner from second to third. So now with less than 2 outs, the tying run is on third base.
Caminero, the hitter now, 0 for 3, and he takes high with the slider, and everything missing up with Church.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit excited. This is a big situation, and this is where you have to learn as a youngster, and hopefully make some good pitches here and get out of the situation, but this is a learning experience. Great adjustment.
1-1 now.
After missing up, being able to throw a ball on the plate for most of the way. He just breaks off, gets the chase.
Infield in. The pitch from Church. Swing and a miss, strike 2. High leverage spot for the young man here. A walk and a double put him in trouble. Got the ground out that brought in a run. And very little room for error here. 1-2 on the way. Foul back.
Not a bad pitch. The key is staying within yourself. Church has strikeout stuff, but his has strikeout stuff naturally. You don't have to do too much here. Sometimes you try to overdo it and you leave one in the middle of the plate, or you try to overdo it and you spike one in the ground.
And here it is. Inside with the 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
Not a bad miss. That wasn't intentional. You do move the feet a little bit there. Does that open up the slider down and away if you can execute it?
The fastball popped up. Now the strength for Church in his minor league years has been his ability to get strikeouts. And when you think of late inning, high leverage guys, that has certainly been the trend in baseball. You look for those guys who can get strikeouts. He's averaged nearly 13 strikeouts per 9 innings since 2021 in the minor leagues. He needs one here. 2-2 on the way. And that's in the air, left field, and probably deep enough to get the run home. Taveras underneath it will make the catch. Tagging at third, DeLuca, he scores. So the sac fly ties the game. It's 3-3.
Well, Tampa does the job in the inning and getting the 2 runners on quickly and getting them both in, manufacturing The runs, getting a ground ball to first base and getting a fly ball out to center field, but it ties up the game.
Well, the bases are empty and 2 out for Aranda, who's 1 for 3. And the first pitch runs way in and gets away from Jonah. That one at 99. Church maybe a little anger on that fastball.
You read it. Well, you read his facial expression before that pitch. I was thinking to myself, hey, the inning's not over. Concentrate, focus one pitch at a time. This is still a big situation.
Good slider there. So
he had him for a strikeout, right? He put himself in position to strike out Caminero. He wasn't able to do it. It wasn't a horrible situation. He got an out on it, but it did tie the game. But you got to just wipe that away and now make quality pitches. He hasn't put himself in a horrible situation, but also not a good situation here, 2-1. This is about growth and maturity, is staying with yourself and concentrating just on this pitch right here.
It's a swing and a miss. All right, I want to run something up the flagpole here and see what you think. But when you go walk double, his back's against the wall with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up.
Yeah.
At that point, can you say, look, getting out of the inning, giving up those 2 runs, like, is kind of a victory? Not letting it, I guess, steamroll into more than those 2 runs.
You can, but I think right there, you're thinking one pitch at a time, but in big picture, you probably feel like you're good enough with his stuff that I can get out of this situation with still having the lead 3-2.
All right, so you're willing to concede 1 run maybe in that. All right, 3-2. And a little tapper, but that's foul. It was off his leg. And so
I think early in the game, yeah, but I think in the 8th inning, a little bit different. When you're coming in a setup situation, yes, they've put themselves in a good position, 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, but this is a guy with strikeout stuff. You feel like, okay, hey, if I can get that ground ball and a strikeout, or vice versa, strikeout ground ball or strikeout fly ball, I can get out of this thing and they score a run, but we're still winning.
Aranda giving him a fight here. Stays 3-2. And it's been a big inning for Church. He's at 26 pitches now. This will be the 8th pitch of this at-bat with Aranda. Gonna dig deep. Payoff. And that is a swing and a miss. He did not get a piece of it. That is a strikeout. And Aranda is out. So the strikeout does end the inning, but the Rays get back in it with a couple of runs. Tie game, bottom of the 8th. Corey Seager will lead it off for the Rangers when we return.
Let's take a look at StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud, and we see the 110-mile-an-hour, 23-degree, 56 feet at its apex home run. He can brag to Wyatt Langford. We did this yesterday, and Wyatt Langford's ball got 57 feet high in the air. These are some line drive home runs the Rangers are hitting.
Yeah, Rockets get out in a hurry. Now he leads it off in the 8th inning at a tie game against a former Ranger, Pete Fairbanks. Hard throwing right-hander. Eccentric fella.
What does that mean?
He marches to the beat of his own drum.
All right.
Yeah, that's a strike. 0-2. I wouldn't doubt that there are people who would describe you as eccentric.
Okay.
Peachtree farmer, big league announcer. CO2. Ooh. That was close. Just
Plant
missed.
one peach tree, huh?
Yeah, well.
Now you're a peach tree farmer.
Dump cake.
I hope so. Hopefully in a couple years I'll bring you some fresh peaches from the backyard.
I'm looking forward to it. 1-2 from Fairbanks, and it's fouled away. I don't think he meant to put that fastball there.
No, he got away with one. It's interesting, 96 on the fastball, 93 on the changeup. much of a speed difference.
1-2. He strikes out Seager. That time the changeup at 95.
Oh, okay. Well, he takes a mile an hour off his fastball here for the changeup. I mean, this sucker's moving quite a bit down and away. You do see the grip. It is a changeup grip. A lot of movement there. That is interesting. He can just move the ball to your ring finger and middle finger, and it's pretty much the same speed. It just has more movement. It's almost like a two-seam fastball.
Yeah, yeah. Burrow's a four-seamer inside there on Langford. Jock Peterson waiting on deck. 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning, tie game. And that's a little in. Rangers a little short-handed in the bullpen today. They've got some guys that they would certainly hope to avoid using. Jacob Webb getting ready for the 9th inning, one would assume. It'd be nice if the Rangers could hand him a lead as they do that. This one tapped down in front of the plate. Fairbanks has it and throws it over to first in time. 2 away.
Well, you know what's interesting about the situation is there's not two guys warming up, so whether this is a tie game or if Jock Peterson hits a solo home run here, Webb's coming in a tie game or a safe situation. There's no decision here. Martin might be down also with how much he's pitched so far early in the year.
And Jackson down. Your high leverage guys have been used a lot lately. Bouncer right side of the infield. That's for quiet. 8th inning for the Rangers. Exciting finish on that ground out, but a 1-2-3 8th inning. Fairbanks could come back out for the 9th perhaps. 9th inning coming up, 3-3.
Angels versus Rangers at Globe Life Field, April 15th to the 17th. Scan the QR code right now or visit Rangers.com for tickets.
Okay, 9th inning, tie game. And how about Jacob Webb out here today?
He's had a really nice season for the Rangers in 4 games, 5 innings, pitched only 1 run against, 111 batting average. Not his batting average against.
Yeah, yeah. Morrell, the hitter, and he takes strike 1. The fastball there at 94 miles per hour. We saw Webb yesterday through an inning. And that ball is lofted foul, third base side. And Smith had a play. Almost. Oh.
Well, he got there in time. Great effort. Let's see how far away he is from maybe getting a glove on this. Probably a foot away.
Yeah. There's a swing and a miss, and Webb gets a strikeout to start the 9th inning this afternoon.
Well, great job from Webb here, getting a ball above the zone, 93 miles an hour. Morrell can't catch up to it or foul it off.
So Caballero now, his second at bat of the day, and he takes outside, ball 1. Webb came in to finish up an inning yesterday, then back out again to start the next, only threw the 1 total inning. That is to say, he recorded 3 outs. And the sweeper misses 2-0. You and I talked to him this morning in the clubhouse, and I thought it was interesting. He's like, no, I like pitching more often, right? I feel like coming out for additional innings in an outing is good, because I can get into a rhythm, and I feel like pitching back-to-back days is good, because if I'm feeling right, then I can just kind of keep that good thing going.
Yeah, and you asked him if he was down today. He said, no, good to go. And here we see him. High leverage situation. Tie game in the 9th inning. Already has a K. Now he's in a 2-2 count. See what he decides here. Shaking off.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, that's fouled away. You don't always hear it from relievers. They don't always discuss it one way or the other. Openly, anyway. But he said, no. He's like, the way Bruce Bochy is using me right now is exactly how I think I should be used. 2-2. And he just did hold up, full count. Most guys have some gripe or another.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, Boch, I mean, isn't he kind of considered, though, one of the best managers of bullpens in baseball history?
3-2. Yeah, that's a good at bat there by Caballero. He works the walk. So the Rays have a runner. And it brings up Mangum. 1 for 3 today. Corners are in a little bit. Middle infielder, double play depth, and the first pitch is down low, ball 1. 2 runs last inning for the Rays to pull this thing back into a tie.
It's a walking lead last time. You got to make sure you stop the runner's feet. See him walking.
He bluffs. There's a strike. 1-1.
Yeah, that's now as a left-hander, it's really easy to stop their feet because you're looking straight at them. As a righty, it's not as easy, but runners they don't want to have kind of what you call dead feet or still feet. They want to be moving their feet if they're still in the base. Stopped his feet there, decided to pick over, but that was a good job of holding there. So Caballero had to stop his movement towards second base.
Still shuffling. And he goes. 1-1 is in the air. Left field. And Langford will take care of that one. 2 away. Caballero had the return. And now Wall's the batter. He does have a hit today. 1 for 3. Former 3rd round pick out of Florida State University. Captain of that Seminoles team that advanced to the College World Series in 2017. And a toss over there on Caballero.
First step was towards second base, so he's ready to steal first or second pitch here. He just wants to get the jump. I'll tell you what, with Walls, I've been very impressed defensively with him this series.
Check in over there. So that's it.
Yeah.
Can't throw over now.
Could be bold to do it 3 times in a row.
Possibly unwise. Depends. If he's got an audacious lead, maybe. There's a strike. 0-1 to Walls. You mentioned great defensive middle infielder, but he brings a career 188 average to the plate. And that's over a significant number of plate appearances, almost 1,300 of them. And now HEIM will jog out there to talk to Webb.
I actually got nervous. I did not see Jonah call time, so when I saw Webb step off the rubber, I thought, oh no, that's the 3rd disengagement. But yeah, so right here with a guy like Walls at the plate, maybe with your 2 picks already, you don't concentrate as much. Maybe Jonah saying, hey, let's get this hitter here. This is our guy. They can't score unless he gets a hit.
Runner goes. Strike pitch is high. Throw down to second, not in time. That's a stolen base for Caballero.
Well, walking lead, big jump. Jonah gets it down there as fast as he can, but as we've seen in baseball in 2025, if you want to steal second base, unless the pitcher sees you going early, you're going to be safe.
There's a swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Walls.
That was a really nice pitch right there.
Well, see if he can pick up his club and Give the team a little momentum going into the last of the ninth inning. A strikeout of Walls would certainly help in that regard. And he got him swinging. A changeup. And Walls goes down for the final out of the ninth inning. Excellent job by Jacob Webb. When we come back, El Bombi, Adolis Garcia, a chance to win the game with one swing of the bat. Well, it's 3-3. Bottom of the ninth inning. Rangers have played in what seems like an unending number of these really tight, low-scoring games. And now, if they're going to win this game, sweep this series, and continue their win streak, it's going to be a walk-off win. And perhaps against this guy, Edwin Uceda.
Well, he pitched yesterday in the 6th inning. He has a little bit of a Louis Tiant type of wind up here. It's not as extreme, but watch him turn his back here to try to hide the ball.
Garcia had an idea on that first pitch, but comes up empty. 0 for 3 today. That's interesting.
It looked like he lost his bat as he was getting ready. It looked like maybe he lost the grip on his bat and knew he couldn't swing, so he just had to take.
0-2. A pitch from Uceda. And that's in. Rangers with single runs in the 3rd, 6th, and 7th innings. And that ball is clubbed high in the air out to left. Morel has it measured, and he'll make the catch. Just got underneath it.
Yeah, you said it, Dave. We'll see the replay here, and he gets it just underneath. He times it up. The timing is there. Just hits the bottom of the baseball.
So got away with one. Now Berger, and he lifts one in the air on the infield, left side, and that'll be handled by Walls. 2 up, 2 down. So here's Josh Smith. Rangers have used 3 relievers back of Kumar Rocker. Uceda, the 4th reliever today, back of Rasmussen. Smith has a couple of hits today. He fouls that back our direction. That's the first one that may have gotten back in here. Whoa, Horace.
I had it.
How about that?
It just hit our camera thing.
Yeah.
That's the first time ever, right?
Yes.
I did close my eyes that last second.
Outside 2-1. It's awesome. Never seen one get back here. 2-2. Good effort.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Well, you know, Josh, hit one over the yellow lines there. Let's have some fun.
Hits this down the left field line. That could be trouble. That gets down, base hit. Great start out of the box for Smith. He's trying for 2. He's in there. A 2-out double for Josh Smith. And the winning run is in scoring position.
Great hitting and a great job out of the box. Hits this one, and he knows immediately he's going for 2. His first step out of the box is, I'm getting a double. I'm going to put pressure on Morel here to throw a perfect strike. Hits the inside part of the base, and he's sprinting. And a great job of getting into scoring position with 2 outs. I love when baseball's played that hard, and Josh Smith plays the game right, plays it hard, and gives his team a chance to win here with a base hit.
Kyle Snyder out to the mound to have a word with Uceda. Well, there's your winning run. And the concern right now for the Rays is on the man at the plate, Jonah HEIM. Because he's been swinging the bat pretty well. Reached on an error in the 7th inning. He had a base hit earlier today. I think, you know, the handful of Rangers right now you really trust up there. I think Jonah is right at the top of that list. Let's see if the Buffalo Bomber can take care of business here. He swings and misses at the cut fastball. Rangers off to a 7-2 start, trying to keep it going. And HEIM shoots it out to center. That's down, base hit. Here comes Smith. He'll score! And the Rangers have won it in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, it was Jonah HEIM time. Fastball top of the zone. Line drive into center. Josh Smith sprinting the whole way. Head first. The Rangers win. The Rangers are 8-2. Spike the helmet. What a game. What a team. What a start.
This has been one of the greatest starts in franchise history at 8-2, and the way they're doing it has just been phenomenal. Another thriller. Rangers walk it off 4-3. Let's catch our breath. We'll come back and wrap it up for you here in a moment. Ball on RSN is brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers. By your North Texas Honda dealers. And by Baylor Scott & White Health, the power to live better. Well, they've done it again. These Heart Attack Rangers, a 4-3 walk-off win here at home. It's hard to make sense of all of it, so how about our Baylor Scott & White Health game diagnosis?
Well, let's go back to the start of the game and the starter of the game. What a great second start for Kamar Rocker. Pounded the strike zone, 47 strikes today, a lot of ground balls, a lot of soft contact, no walks. Used his defense, got the double play here in the 5th inning to end his outing with only 1 run against after 5. In the 6th inning, Corey Seager gets his first of the year, lefty on lefty slider. It gave the Rangers the lead at 2-1. Tampa came back and tied it up at 3, but in the 9th inning with 2 outs after a Josh Smith double, Jonah HEIM hits a liner to center field, and Josh Smith sprinting around the bases, sliding head first. Jonah HEIM with the walk-off. The Buffalo Bomber gets the game-winning hit, his 5th of his career. And the Rangers are off to an 8-2 start.
I'll tell you what, he just, something about him right now. He's swinging the bat so well. The guy you wanted up there, and he delivered. And speaking of delivering, how about our Whataburger probables tomorrow in Chicago? It'll be a chilly one, so keep that blanket that's currently on your lap there. And we hope you'll join us. Nathan Eovaldi against Justin Steele. A couple of opening day starters. Steele last year for the Cubs, Eovaldi the last 2 years for the Rangers, and Eovaldi, of course, coming off that Maddox complete game shutout in Cincinnati. Cannot wait. Well, today's game produced by Rangers Sports Network for Mike Bassick and Laura Stickles. I'm Dave Raymond. Thanks so much for staying with us. Keep it right here. Our coverage continues with the Rangers Game Day presented by Toyota. Once again, the final score today was the Rangers over the Rays 4-3.